Um, oh, there we go. That's the button being pressed. Thanks, Abba. So this is being recorded, just so you know. And the recording will be posted onto the hub itself for anyone who, because there's lots of people who kind of wanted to see this welcome sesh but couldn't come to it. And then the other thing to say is we'll of course have lots of time for Q&A, and we welcome conversations and questions and hopefully some answers. And if you have any questions or any thoughts, you can start putting them into the chat. And Antonia and Abba and I will kind of keep an eye on what's in the chat. So when we come to the questions bit, we'll invite you to speak up and say things out loud or put things into the chat, whichever you like. Okay, so welcome. Meet the team. We're just going to have a couple of minutes, so we'd all love to introduce ourselves to you. And we are going to start with the Department for Culture, Media and Sport. I'm going to hand over to Emma Barlow from there.
Thank you, Harry. Yeah, just to quickly echo, it's great to have so many of you here from across the country working in so many different sectors and with so many different groups of people. So my name is Emma. I work in the Tackling Loneliness team at DCMS, and my role in the team is to work really closely with Neighbourly Lab and the Centre for Loneliness Studies to manage the Tackling Loneliness Hub. I also manage a lot of our engagement with organisations that are external to governments. And I will pass over to my colleague, Charlotte.
Thanks, Emma. Hi, everyone. My name is Charlotte Hill. I'm the head of Tackling Loneliness at DCMS. I lead the team that manages our work to tackle loneliness within government, and we work with lots of different departments, not just DCMS, to think about how we can drive forward action on loneliness. So both within government and through our work with stakeholders like you all and the Hub. I will pass over to Sharkia next.
Thanks, Charlotte. Hi, everyone. I'm Sharkia. I work with Charlotte and Emma in DCMS. So I also work in the Tackling Loneliness team. So I lead on the policy delivery of the campaigns work that we do.
Thank you, Sharkia. And I'll move slides up. Emma,
Thanks, Harry. So many of you will know that loneliness has been a government priority since 2018. And in 2021, the Tackling Loneliness Hub first launched. And it launched to support our efforts to raise awareness of loneliness, to mobilise more cross-sector action, and to facilitate a closer relationship with civil society organisations that work so hard to reduce loneliness. I can't believe it started only with a handful of members, and now there are over 1,000 of you. It's fantastic. We're, as a team, really grateful to have worked with the Campaign to End Loneliness in its former iteration, and for all of their work to get the Tackling Loneliness Hub where it is to date. And now we're really pleased to be working closely with Neighbourly Lab and the Centre for Loneliness Studies at Sheffield Hallam to carry on the good work. We really hope that it continues to be a useful space for you all to connect, to share best practice, and to encourage each other in your good work. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Emma and Charlotte and Sharkia. Yeah, so just to briefly introduce Neighbourly Lab, and then after that, we'll hand over to our partners at Sheffield Hallam. But so, yeah, Neighbourly Lab, we're a research and innovation organisation focused on social connectedness. We're a non-profit, we're based in London, but we work all over the UK. And what we kind of exist to do is to figure out kind of how places are set up and what's in place for people when they need help, and particularly focused on social connection and loneliness, of course. I'm one of the founders back in 2019. Funny enough, the prompt for me to jump into Neighbourly Lab and to help set it all up was ethnographic work I did. I was working, funny enough, for Facebook, of all people, back in 2018-19, and doing lots of research and ethnography about loneliness and isolation, and traveling all around the world, talking to people about their experiences of loneliness. And I remember in Turkey and India and in this country too. That's what got me first kind of fascinated by what loneliness is and how it works and what can be done to prevent or alleviate it. I'm going to introduce my colleague Emma Kemp, who's not on the call because she's just this week in Australia and it's a bit late for her there, but she's kind of running lots of Neighbourly Lab's work on the Hub. She's a brilliant behavioural scientist and researcher. And Abba, let me hand over to you to say hi.
Thanks, Harry. Hi, everyone. I am the Growth and Comms Strategist at Neighbourly Lab, and I'm also your new community manager. My work centres around communication and connection, so I'm really excited to be your new community manager, support you in the hub, and I'm really looking forward to seeing it grow as well.
Thanks, Abba. And yeah, I think I've said a bit about Neighbourly Lab. Yeah, we're delighted, of course, to be working with you all to help run and grow the hub. I think we're just big believers in the power of joining up professionals to let you, the people who are close to loneliness in lots of different ways, to share know-how, encourage each other, solve problems together, figure things out together, pool resources, and kind of collectively, speak up and give more prominence to loneliness in lots of domain areas and talk about why it matters so much. So yeah, we're really, really pleased to be part of this. And let me hand you over to Antonia and Andrea from Sheffield Hallam University, from the Centre for Loneliness Studies.
Hi, everyone. I hope you can hear me okay. Yeah, okay. I think I froze for a moment. Hi, everyone. So hello, my name is Antonia Ypsilanti, and I'm here today with my colleague, Professor Andrea Wickfield, who is the director of the Centre for Loneliness Studies. Jointly, the Centre does multidisciplinary research on loneliness for over 10 years now. And we have a very large network of collaborators within the UK, but also internationally. Since this 1st of May, I believe, we are also hosting the campaign to end loneliness. So really, really honored to be taking over the legacy of the campaign and moving it forward. Just a couple of things from our side. I'm a behavioral scientist with a background in psychology and doing research on loneliness and mental health. Very much interested in the aspect of chronic loneliness within the context of associated kind of mental health problems and disorders. And Andrea will just have, can you say a quick hello as well?
Yeah, of course. Hi, everyone. Really great to see so many of you here. Yeah, I'm Andrea Wickfield. I'm a professor at Sheffield Hallam University. I've been researching loneliness for many years, and I'm coming from a social science perspective, but looking at a multidisciplinary approach, really. And I'm really just interested in the whole societal implications of loneliness and the way in which loneliness transcends different aspects of our lives, whether it be health, the workplace, the way in which built environment is designed and built, or the way in which we live in housing. Yeah, and it's just really great that we've managed to keep the campaign to end loneliness going, and that it still continues to be involved in the hub.
Brilliant. Thank you, Andrea and Antonia. Is there is there anything else you wanted to add about the work?
I think we've covered most of it, Harry.
Yeah, super. All right, that's brilliant. Yeah,
keep the time for the actual content of this, so it's really good to be here. Thank you.
100%. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, and as you say, it's brilliant that the campaign to end loneliness, which I know so many of us have been close to and been involved with, is still kind of at the heart of the hub. It's very nice. Neighbourly Lab, obviously, we love our neighbours, and we've been based in the same office as the campaign to end loneliness for the last 5 years up until recently. So we've got to know many of you very well. I'm going to say just for 4 or 5 minutes, not too much, just about kind of the vision for the hub, and I'm going to share a bit of data and analytics from the recent sort of survey to share some of what we've heard from the members so far, and about kind of what you kind of want and need from the hub. So I think you kind of will know this, and Emma, you kindly set some of it out as well already. This hub is, it's an amazing thing. It's the first of its kind in the world, obviously the UK, especially because of this hub and DCMS's attention on it and the fact that there's a minister for loneliness. It's an amazing thing that we in this country have so much kind of infrastructure, if you like, to organise the community around tackling loneliness. We all got very excited and did some whooping recently when the number of members ticked into 4 figures a few weeks ago. So that's fantastic. And I'm sure it will keep growing. I think our collective vision for the hub is just to bring even more vibrancy to it. We want to, you know, it's had amazing successes so far. We want to embed it as part of the sort of national infrastructure for preventing and alleviating loneliness. We want to extend the reach of the hub membership, not for its own sake. No one's interested in number growth, but we're particularly interested in who else the hub might have amongst its members to make sure that everybody who's to do with loneliness and engage with loneliness knows about the hub and is active on the hub. So again, that's something we'd welcome your views on and your help with in terms of thinking about people or organizations who aren't represented enough or prominent enough on the hub. But of course, needless to say, the whole point of the hub is to bring about impact and to enable all of us to translate kind of know-how and academic learnings and ideas into practice in order to make an impact on the lives of people who are experiencing or are susceptible to chronic severe loneliness. Here's a few highlights from the survey as a taster, because you will be pleased to hear the survey is still live. We'll send this link. I know it's hard for you to copy off the page, but we'll make sure it's posted on the hub itself. And I think you've all received it on email. But the survey is open for another couple of weeks. So please, it only takes 2 minutes to do. So go, and if you haven't already, if you have, thank you. If you haven't already, then if you can, tell us what you're thinking. And a few sort of emerging insights from the survey so far. The sort of main topics of interest that we're hearing about are kind of the intersection between mental health and loneliness, thinking about meaningful relationships and loneliness. I think that's really interesting. Thinking about inequalities and disparities, lots of emerging thinking about the role of race and ethnicity with loneliness and to do with disparities in the provision of services or reasons why some people find it harder than others to access help and support. Really interested as well, a third of people already calling out kind of the linkages and thinking between physical health and loneliness. And so, as always with loneliness, lots of focus and intersection on age, both older and younger, and on health and disabilities, and as I mentioned, to do with race and diverse cultural heritage as well. So some of the content areas which are highlighted. The sort of 2 or 3 main things which came out so far is, not surprisingly really, but lots of, I think, more than anything, I think that the members want to have ready access to being able to find out what works. So where's the evidence about efficacy of different interventions? Whereas perhaps in a more informal way, what are the good practices? What's the tradecraft around loneliness? What kind of works? What are some tips that we can share with each other about deploying or adapting those kind of interventions? And also about techniques to do with measurement and evaluation as well. So those are some of the topic areas. In terms of the formats, in other words, the sort of the way in which the hub presents itself so it's useful and accessible to you. Webinars like this one, newsletters, networking events. We're going to do some wonderful networking events. So check out the calendar on the hub, and in a minute, Abba will highlight what we've got planned for October as well. We're going to experiment with podcasts soon, so get your earbuds ready for that. But of course, we'd love to hear from you of what kind of things you'd like and find useful. I think one of the things we're obviously really focused on is how to make the hub more engaging and more salient and useful in your working life. So things like calendar views to make sure that events are really clearly able for you to slide straight into your diaries, better weekly email reminders or alerts of what's going on. So hopefully we won't overwhelm you with emails or prompts or nudges. If we do, and tell us. But what we want to make sure is just in an appropriate way that what's going on in the hub is brought to your attention in a ways that are kind of relevant and timely for you. So yeah, Any questions later we can deal with about any of that data, but I'm going to hand over to you, Abba, now for a few minutes of like showing us around the hub really, and a bit of kind of quick tour of what's there.
Great, thanks, Harry. Hi, everyone. So before I get into the features of the hub, for those of you who are new to the hub, or for those who just need a refresher, I'd really encourage you, when you have a few minutes, just to check out the Welcome New Members group and have a watch of the short onboarding video, which provides an overview of all the features on the hub. So you can always go there if you need any reminders, or of course, feel free to contact me.
But just to say, your audio, your speaking's a bit something funny with your mic. It sounds like you're underwater, but I don't know if it's not. I don't know if it's something you can fix. Probably not. In which case, it's fine. We can hear you, but just to let you know. Anyway, sorry. Thank you.
Okay, no worries. So I'll just talk about the newsfeed now. So it's great to see so many of you in the chat being really active, and we'd love to see that energy in the newsfeed too. So if you think of the newsfeed as the pulse of the hub, if there's anything new, exciting, or insightful happening in the world of loneliness research or interventions, this is where you can post it or find it. The feed is the easiest way, if you're pressed for time, to stay connected to what's trending. Similar to LinkedIn or Facebook, it's a space for quick, bite-sized updates where you can post things like links to current research, put out a call to hub members for projects you're working on, insightful perspectives, and impactful initiatives. So if you fancy sharing your work or ideas, just feel free to reach out to me, and I'll be more than happy to spotlight your post on the feed or even put it in the blog as well. So I'll just move on to the blog page. So the blog section, it's your go-to for a deeper dive into topics that interest you, and it goes beyond the quick reads in the newsfeed. The blog enables more in-depth conversations and learnings, and this part of the platform is for all the members to share their expertise, highlight important issues, and connect through shared interests and experiences. Here you'll find more detailed thought pieces, research findings, and personal reflections as well. So you could contribute your own story, project, or insights to spark meaningful discussions. And again, feel free to contact me and I can post your blog or a blog from your organization as well. So I'll just move on to groups now. So the groups are the space where the communities within the community come to life. The groups feature allows for tailored conversations, support and networking, and it's there to help build stronger connections and meaningful collaborations. So whether you want to dive deeper into a particular topic or build connections around a shared goal or host your own discussions, the groups page is a perfect opportunity to collaborate in a more focused setting. There's a welcome video as well in the Welcome New Members group, which provides a really brief overview of what the different settings mean within the groups page. And you can also search for different groups just by entering one keyword or a few keywords such as local authority or aging, etc., to find groups that are relevant to you, or you can just scroll through. Within these groups, if you're an organizer, you can post in the feed just like you would in the main news feed. You can upload videos. You can upload documents as well, such as reports or other resources you'd like to share. And then within that, if you like to be super organized, you can create folders to put in the reports and other resources. So it makes it super easy for other members to find what they need. We also have Zoom integrated into the groups as well. So as the owner, you can easily set up regular catch-ups with other members of the group. And to give it a more personal feel, you can customize it as well with a nice banner. And it's really easy as well to invite other members into groups. And it's also really easy to join other groups as well. Just click the request access button and the owner of the group will allow you to enter. So we'll move on to members now. So imagine wanting to collaborate with someone who shares your area of focus. This is where members should go, and this is where you should start. So the members area allows you to explore other people's profiles, understand members' expertise, and easily reach out for a chat as well. So again, it's like LinkedIn, but it's specific to us. This is the heartbeat of the community as well, and I'm hoping this is where all the relationships start. So it's your chance to network, find partners, or learn from other members' experiences. But we can move on to resources. Thanks, Harry. So if you need a tool or a guide or a research paper, this is your one-stop shop for practical tools and research, and it makes it a lot easier to access these things as well without doing endless searching. And this page as well, it's publicly available and it's always growing, so feel free to add to it. We can move on to events. So from webinars to workshops and coffee roulette, the events calendar is where the hub goes live. And the event page brings together the community to exchange best practices, share stories, and inspire action. And so this space is all about connection as well. So whether you're hosting an event or attending one, this is a place to learn and share ideas. And also, for those of you who are too busy to check in every day, that's no problem. The newsletter is going to ensure you never miss an important update. It's a monthly digest, which goes straight into your inbox and features updates on events, blogs, and resources. So it's a super easy way to stay informed and keep in the loop, stay in the loop. Thanks. And so the onboarding video as well, in the Welcome New Members group, will provide an overview of all the features on the hub. And you can also have a look at the calendar to find out what's happening in October. So there'll be our monthly newsletter. We've got a masterclass on evaluation and a webinar on loneliness at work with guest speakers Rupert Jones, Lee and Lucy Maxwell from the Film and TV charity, and Anna Tupakas from the University of Sheffield. Thanks, Harry. Oh, and feel free to get in touch as well. So you can direct message me on the hub, or you can email me as well, and I'll get straight back to you. Thank you.
Sorry, I was unmuted. Yeah, thank you, Emma. Brilliant. Maybe stick your email address into the chat as well so people can copy it if they want to. But yeah, please, yeah, I guess more than anything, just if you have any queries, even if you just want to, you know, to be sort of led round and shown how the hub works, or we can have a conversation about how it could work more for you or your colleagues, just ping us, ping that email address, and we'll be back to you immediately. And then the rest of the team here are also on hand to help in any way we can. And yeah, just think, you know, we'd love you, you know, go big or go small. You might want to author stuff, share what you've already got. Please just do that. If you've got ideas about what you think the hub should become or what more you want to see, then tell us that. If you've got particular people you've spotted who you think would be really cool to hear more from, or for the hub to hear from, then, you know, just suggest stuff to us. We would really, really welcome that and appreciate that from you. So yeah, fantastic. And, you know, if there's any feedback, and if there's anything annoying you or getting in the way of you enjoying the hub, just tell us that, of course, as well. So thank you, everyone. And I tell you what, I'll stop sharing my screen now because that'll be easier. You can sort of hopefully see all the faces better. But yeah, I think we've got 10 or 15 minutes for as long as we want, really. If anyone's got any questions or comments or thoughts, that would be amazing.
Should I pick up a couple of questions from the chat?
Yeah, lovely. Thanks, Antonia. Please do.
Okay,
Yeah.
so first one, quite easy for you, Harry. Will the slides be shared?
Yes. Well, yes, we'll share them onto the hub. So they will be shared onto the hub. Thank you for asking that question. I should have said that at the beginning. Yes, shared on the hub. And also, if anyone wants an email to them or anything else, then just let us know.
Okay, there's one question probably for our DCMS colleagues, Emma, or maybe Charlotte can reply. Is there still a Minister for Loneliness after Stuart Andrews?
Yeah, I can field that one. So there is a Minister for Loneliness. The new Minister for Tackling Loneliness is Stephanie Peacock, who is picking that up as part of her role as the Minister for Civil Society.
Thank you, Charlotte. Okay. And there is one more question that I think Abba, you replied, whether Teams will be working alongside Zoom. I'm not sure if everyone received your reply. Can you just elaborate on that a bit more, Abba?
Of course. So at the moment, it's not available, it's not integrated, but it's definitely something we can look into. So if there's anything at all that you think can improve your experience from having Teams on the hub or anything else at all, please let us know. We're more than happy to look into things to make sure that your whole experience on the hub is really smooth and easy.
And one more thing that is, again, technical, probably for you, Abba. Someone has been trying to add the events on the hub calendar. Jessica has tried to do that, but she's not sure if that function wasn't working because of the transition period or whether it's been resolved.
That has been resolved now, but feel free to just email me and I'd be more than happy to either walk you through it or I can just post it for you.
And I think one more for Charlotte, following up, maybe. Is there going to be a new national loneliness strategy?
Yeah, great question. So we are going to be working with the new Minister for Tackling Loneliness over the autumn to work with her on kind of the next phase of government work on tackling loneliness. So watch this space, and the hub will obviously be a place where the Minister and the team can stay connected with the sector.
Thank you, Charlotte. And another technical issue for you, Abba, probably. Jules has been trying to register on the hub just now. And there is a fatal error on the website. I'm not sure if there's...
Okay, that's no problem. I've just refreshed it, so it should be working absolutely fine now. But again, just feel free to message me and I can go in the back end and sort it out for you.
Yeah, thanks, Jules, for pointing it out. Yeah, it's probably worth saying, we, the technology that runs the hub has been going for a few years, and it's good. We think it's fit for purpose, but we're always looking for ways to boost it and improve it. And there are bits of it, as there always are with these kind of things, which are, a bit fragile. So apologies if things are a tiny bit glitchy occasionally, but we're very on it in terms of ensuring that the hub works smoothly and is well maintained.
Harry, can I just confirm one response? Are we bringing up the monthly roulette that we've discussed about so widely between us?
Yeah, the copy roulette.
On that?
Yeah, good question. Does everyone know I think copy roulettes are like a sort of randomized thing where you get paired with someone and encouraged to, whenever you want, meet up with them for a coffee or a virtual coffee. And we probably all did similar thing, especially during COVID. It was a very popular thing, wasn't it, for sort of professional groups and things. We're not sure. We love it, but we are also thinking of something which is a little bit more kind of customized or relevant in terms of how people might be introduced to one another as well. So we might do the roulette just as a kind of way to have some chance encounters or some bumping space for the hub. But yeah, we'll see. We'll figure out in the next few weeks. It'll either be that or a new and improved version of it. But definitely, yeah. And also really keen on suggestions for just different ways in which people can get to meet each other. You're all there, I guess, feel free just to sort of reach out to people you see on the hub. We're very conscious, by the way, with hubs like this, that the real magic goes on sort of outside the hub. If you like, the hub is just the sort of public square, the place where stuff gets shown and people's details can be made available to each other. But we know from lots of wonderful stories we've heard over the years of how the hub's been used, and my own experience of it too, that kind of, the really rich stuff and the good interactions and collaborations tend to sort of happen, from it. So, yeah.
Okay, and just one comment as well. Thank you, Paul, for your feedback. Good to hear the affirmation from the government that there is a commitment to tackling loneliness. Thank you for that. And also, Paul goes on to ask how we can progress the synergy between the Global Initiative for Loneliness and Connection program of webinars and the Hub program. And I think there is a very nice way to do that. I mean, Harry, do you want to say something about that, or should I?
You go. Yeah, I think you'd be better than me, Antonia.
So me and Andrea are the leads for content development, and so if we can liaise together, Paul, then we can make sure that we are kind of synchronizing or working together to provide some of the work that you've been doing in the GILC and bring them into the hub. We do have a scheduled program for the next few months, so if we can talk outside this this meeting, this webinar, we can arrange that.
Yeah,
I think we've
thanks,
also
Antonia.
got a question from Helena Jenkins, who's asked if we can have lunch and learn sessions on the hub from individuals showcasing good practice. Harry, shall I let you answer that one?
Yeah, thanks, Helena. Yeah, we'd love to. I mean, definitely, absolutely. I mean, I think that's absolute exactly what we'd love to do. I think that generally speaking, we will, you know, the more different events we can have, the better. We're delighted that there's, like, you know, dozens and dozens and dozens of us on this call now, and so some of the events we run will have probably, you know, hundreds of members on them, but we're just as happy if we're you know, a longer tail of events which might only have a dozen or 20, 30 members, or perhaps from a more specialist area. So definitely, yeah, if you're up for it, Helena, if you've got something you can run a lunch and learn on, then get straight in touch with us. Email community.manager now, and let's do it. In fact, we're similar. Neighbourly Lab's also running an evaluation at the moment of a tackling loneliness intervention for the armed forces community. And we're really eager to share that on a lunch and learn as well for some of what we're kind of learning at the moment. So yeah, I think that's brilliant. I think if anyone's got stuff that they want to share or things which they think it'd be great just to update each other on, then let's do that. It'd be wonderful. You have to bring your own lunch, so that's beyond the DCMS's budget.
There was one other comment about meeting face to face, and Kirsty was very nice to provide a link to their first loneliness conference in Nottingham. If you want to just scroll down the chat, everybody, you can find, and it's anyone that wants to join in person for free. There is a link also to the Eventbrite, so that's really useful. And in terms of the campaign to end loneliness, we're also scheduling a hybrid conference next summer to follow the tradition of the campaign's very, very informative conferences. So yeah, please watch this space. We'll have some updates later in the year.
That'd be excellent. Thanks, Kirsty. I'm just looking at your comment that you added that to the event section of the hub. That's brilliant. Yeah, so especially, I mean, also just because you mentioned GILC earlier, if anybody's part of other kind of networks or organizations which to do with loneliness or adjacent areas, then yeah, definitely think how that network and this network can support each other. You know, we're always obviously keen to share news or events of stuff that's coming up in other networks. So please share all that. Thank you.
Harry, I just wanted to add as well, just for all the hub members, there are no silly questions whatsoever. So if you're having any trouble on the hub, any trouble navigating, or you'd like to find a particular piece of content, feel free to direct message me on the hub, or again, just email me and I'll get straight back to you.
Thanks, Saba. Yeah, I think that's really, really worth saying, because it can be a bit like, especially if you've forgotten how to use it or you're new to the hub. So just make use of that offer, please. And just, yeah, thanks, Abba. Just ping Abba and we'll kind of be absolutely delighted to hop on a call with you or to show you around the hub and to talk to you about what you might need from it and how you can contribute based. Thanks, Jessica. You're mentioning in the chat that, yeah. Thank you all. I think, yeah, I think that's great. I don't know if there's any more questions, but I think that's wonderful. We just really wanted to bring everyone together and say hi and thank you and welcome.
Can you,
And
please just remind everyone the two events that we have scheduled for October just before we close?
of course, yeah. So we've got, just bear with me. We've got the loneliness at work. That's with guest speakers Rupert Jones-Lee and Lucy Maxwell, who are here in the webinar today. I think Lucy's here in the webinar, and they're from the Film and TV charity. They'll also be joined by Anna Topakas from the University of Sheffield, and the event will be chaired by Professor Andrea, who's here as well. And we also have a masterclass on evaluation, and that's taking place on the 29th of October. And I will say as well, if you'd like to invite us to any events, feel free. I'd love to attend them.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, Jill, you've asked for everyone to share our email addresses in the chat. That's fine. Yeah, I think if you, I'll certainly put mine in. And thanks, Andrea, you've shared yours. Yeah, that'd be great. And if you ever stuck with the contact or want to get in touch with any of us, just the very first port of call is that community.manager and Abba's email. Amazing. Well, thank you all so much for coming. We'll keep the call open just for a few minutes in case anyone wants to go back through the chat or take any email addresses or anything off it. And yeah, it's wonderful to have you all here, and thank you, and let's make this amazing.
Thanks, everyone. And I'll see you on the hub.
See you on the hub.
Abba, just before you go, people are saying that they can't see the interventions evaluation event on the hub. Can we just reshare? This is going to be delivered by myself and Andrea Wickfield. It's on evaluating interventions for tackling loneliness. So that's a masterclass. But I'm sure Abba can resend links and information through the hub. So yeah, thank you.
Exactly. I'll post it in the newsfeed as well, so it'll be super easy to find.
Thanks, Antonia, and thank you, everyone, and see you soon. Yeah, see you on the hub.